BeMyEyes is an app for blind people. I am not totally blind myself, but almost. I can just see I'm using my phone in front of me, and I can see that it is lighter than the darker background. So I cannot really see what you are doing or anything, but I can kind of see where to look. I came up with the idea about BeMyEyes way back in 2012, and we spent some time raising the money and developing and so on. So in 2015, we launched BeMyEyes, and the core function was and still is a live video connection between a blind person and a sighted volunteer. So we are basically making FaceTime calls between our blind and low vision users and our sighted volunteers. It works like this: when I am in my kitchen here and I need to see something and my wife is not around, then I will pull out my phone and say to Siri to start BeMyEyes. And then on my part as a blind person of the BeMyEyes app, there is one big button that says call next available volunteer. And when I hit that, we will send out a notification to 20 volunteers speaking Danish, because that's my language. And I can choose between 185 different languages where we have volunteers. So, and the first one of those 20 volunteers, the volunteers will get a notification simply saying someone from BeMyEyes needs your assistance. And the first volunteer to hit that notification will be connected with me, and we will send the video to the volunteer. We do not send video the other way around, and of course, two-way audio. This means that I can show something to the volunteer, and we can have a conversation about it. It will most likely be something in the kitchen. Is this yogurt, or what is it, and so on. And and we have been doing this since 2015. And it was an amazing start where we got so much publicity and so on. So today we have almost 700,000 blind and low vision people signed up globally, and we have 7.5 million volunteers in, as I mentioned, 185 different languages. And apart from North Korea and a few other countries, we have both volunteers and users in all countries globally. So that is a success, you can say. I need to say a little bit more about the structure. BeMyEyes is a totally free app to use, both for the volunteers, of course, but also for the blind and low vision people. And the reason is that in the very beginning, when we looked at the numbers, we could see that 90% of the blind people in this world, they live in the global south. And we could also see that, smartphone is spreading rapidly, but we also realized, hey, we cannot charge a blind person in Uganda $10 a month or something like that. Doesn't make sense. So we decided that it should be absolutely free of charge for any blind person all over the world. That also meant that we didn't really have a business plan. So we came up with an idea about supporting companies, simply helping companies support their blind customers. Because as a blind person, you are also a customer, but it can be really difficult to get support in a normal way just by calling the agents at the company. So we figured out, together with Microsoft, we launched what we now call Service Directory, where you can, within the BeMyEyes app, you can go into Service Directory and find Microsoft and place a call to their agents. And the good thing about that is that then Microsoft knows it's a blind person because the call is coming from BeMyEyes. And that means they can route the call to the same 15 agents taking all the calls from all the users of BeMyEyes. And this means that the other agents that hated to get a call from blind users because they were so frustrated about not being able to help, and they had no idea what a screen reader is or how it was working or anything. But those 10 or 15 agents, they really know what products we are using and what issues we have from time to time. So it's helping Microsoft a great deal. It's helping them so much that they are willing to pay BeMyEyes a monthly subscription. And that is how we, together with companies like Google, Spotify, LinkedIn, Procter & Gamble, and a number of other companies, we can keep BeMyEyes running as a free service for our blind and low vision users globally, and have the companies even be happy about the partnership we have done. It's kind of ironic that one of the smallest companies in the world, BeMyEyes, has Microsoft, who's one of the biggest, as our customer. But that's how it is. And with all due respect, BeMyEyes has grown into be the biggest community in the blind universe. So we have grown tremendously. And that was what we were doing until from 2015 and until 2023, with a small adjustments. But and then in the February, the first of February, we simply got a call from OpenAI. And if you recall back from November 22, everybody was talking about OpenAI and AI and so on. And of course, we were also at my team here in Denmark and in the US, we were kind of excited about that. We didn't really know how we could use that within the BeMyEyes. But then we got this phone call from OpenAI who said, "Oh, we have something we would like to show you." And then we got to play with the model that could describe images. Everybody knew that they had this the other way around, where you could write a text and then get an image. But nobody knew that they had kind of reversed that. And of course they could see, oh, this could help blind people. Let's call BeMyEyes. And we were super proud that BeMyEyes, as not only the first but the only company, got access to this model. So suddenly, and this is not something that happens every day in the blind community, the blind community was in the forefront of what everybody in the whole world was talking about, namely AI and its capabilities to describe images and create images and do your homework and all that we spoke about before. But suddenly BeMyEyes was in the news again, and because we got this access to this model. And it was almost crazy because everybody, all of our users wanted to be in on the beta test because we were kind of careful in the beginning. I think we had like 100 or 200 people, blind people, testing it, but we got bombarded with people. Oh, I want to test this as well. So we ended up having 19,000 beta testers on the BeMyAI version. And what it does is that you can choose if you want to make a live video call to a volunteer, or you want to take a photo and get a description back. And the interesting thing is that we could see that quite a number of people downloaded the BeMyEyes app, but they never really used it. But suddenly you could get an answer, but without talking to a human being. And we could see that a lot of those people who had not been using BeMyEyes, they really like to use the version where you didn't have to talk to anyone. One of my example is one of the first people who signed up to BeMyEyes back in 2015. She had only made, I think, 11 calls in almost 10 years, meaning she had basically not used it. And last time I looked, she had made more than 1,400 image description. So we have really hit something that fits in her life. And maybe she's just a little shy or something, or doesn't want to talk to other people or whatever. And for BeMyEyes, it doesn't really matter, because we are here to help people in whatever way we can. And I'm very proud to say that we have now hit 1 image description per second, day and night. And there is, I think there's 88,000 seconds in a day. And we are just around that number on a daily basis. So every second somewhere in the world, a blind person is taking a photo with the BeMyEyes app and getting a very detailed description back. And not only can you take a photo and get a description, you can also ask further questions. Is this yogurt? And yes, it is. Or how much fat does it contain? And can I use this for something? And can you give me a recipe, or should I use something else, or whatever? You can have the same conversation when you have taken the photo, like you can do in a normal chat you have with AI. And people are doing that a lot. And you can also add 2 or more photos to the same chat and ask what's the difference between this and so on. I have taken a photo from each side of the box here. Can you tell me the ingredient list, and can you tell me the expiry date, and so on. So that's really, really handy. And when we started this process, we also had to do some prompting, and that was kind of interesting, because you can tell the AI that you need to give an answer to a blind person, so it needs to be tailored to a blind person. And a very funny experience we had was when we were in the beginning. We were testing, and some person took a photo, I think, in some kind of a fitness center, and the description was there is some fitness equipment in the front, and then in the back there's 2 doors. And then the blind person was asking, how do I get to the door? And then the AI will respond, take my hand and I will guide you over there. So we had to explain to the AI, okay, you cannot help in the physical world. AI is really, really helpful and want to help. But it is also insanely stupid. It doesn't even know that it cannot walk. So it just to kind of remind everybody about, it is a computer you're talking to. It is not a human being, and that was a very good reminder of that. So so that is how we are using AI. We have also implemented AI into our service directory. So when you are calling Microsoft, you can choose if you want to use an AI to answer your question, or you want to talk to a real agent. And to be honest, I was a little skeptic about this, because I hate when I get met with an AI person. But when you are calling Microsoft, you have a problem, and maybe you need to go to a 4, 5, 6 steps task to get to a solution. And the amazing thing about the AI, that because we, together with Microsoft, we have put all kind of information about AI or Microsoft products into AI. And we have still told it this is a blind person, most likely using a screen reader and so on. So the AI will ask you, what kind of screen reader are you using? And then tailor the answer to the exact equipment you have. And it will give you a 5 or 6 step task to go through. And the good thing about this for a blind person is that you can go back and see, okay, step 1, now I have done that. What is step 2? And then you forget about that and so on. Then you can always go back to this. So it's extremely helpful, and sometimes even more than talking to a real agent who will kind of give you all the steps and so on. But then the next day you have to do it again or whatever, and you have forgotten all the steps and so on. Now you have it in writing, and you can keep it and so on, because maybe that issue will show up again. So people are so happy about being able to use AI in also these support situation where most people hate it because they want to talk to a real person and get the answer started right away. So that is how we are using AI. We are, the whole blind community is very excited about AI. Um, and as you can imagine, being a little shy, it's a slam dunk that you can use this without talking to anyone. But what we have seen from both from OpenAI and from Google and so on is that now we are getting into these live conversations where you can simply ask a question and get an answer, and ask another question and even interrupt and so on. That's pretty amazing. And it can be really tricky and time consuming as a blind person to write questions into a form and wait to the answer, and then read all through this. Oh, that was not exactly what I meant, and so on. So if you can do that in a live conversation, that will help a lot of blind people tremendously. And we are now waiting for the really big one, and that is when you can just point your phone at something and get a live description of it. We have been able to show that in practice. One of my colleagues at BeMyEyes, he lives in London, and he got access to the model that can do that. It's not released yet, and we can speak about power consumption later on, but we are very excited about this. And the promise is, and not only a promise, they have proven that they can do this. My colleague was standing in front of Buckingham Palace, and then he pointed his phone at Buckingham Palace, and then he said, "Is the king at home?" And then the AI responded just like that, just like a conversation. Yes, the king is home because I can see the flag is up. And then he was in a park, and there was a little lake and some ducks and so on. And then he was, what are the ducks doing now? And then the AI will tell him, they are swimming around, and some of them have the head under the water and so on. And maybe the most amazing thing for a blind person was when he was standing on the side of the road and asking AI, "Can you tell me when there is a taxi coming up?" And then it took a little while, and then now there's a taxi. You can start waving now, and he did, and the taxi stops. And then when he was about to enter into the taxi, the AI could see his guide dog, and then the AI commented, "Nice dog you have there." And this is just totally amazing that it is possible to do that. And we have no idea, because when we entered this partnership with OpenAI, we said, yeah, we want to do that, but we will not charge our users anything. Are you okay with that? And they said yes. But that was the image part. Now we are getting to live description of video. Without knowing too much about it, I believe that will consume quite a bit more computer power and willpower. So we are not sure if we can do that for free, or if we will have to limit people's use of it. I mean, I can easily imagine blind people setting the phone in the window and simply tell me what's going on the street. I mean, and if we have close to 1 million blind people doing that, we will burn down the whole universe in no time. So I think we will have to limit it somehow, but it is absolutely amazing to think about what we can do. Also, in regard to guiding people in the real world, if you can just point your phone in front of me, or very soon. I mean, what we are doing is only kind of taking the video, and you can do that with a pair of Meta glasses or other kind of glasses, and stream that to your phone and then to OpenAI and so on. So we believe that we can really make a huge difference in a lot of blind people's life. And that's what we are looking ahead to, to work with together with OpenAI. I would like to go back to the image part and to the students using that. We do have quite a few blind students using BeMyAI, of course, in their when they are studying. And what I have been amazed about is when you, as a student, you are in this class, and maybe your teacher is a little late, so he has not been able to find the text or the image in an accessible format. But then you can use your phone and simply snap a photo of the graph in the book, and then get a detailed description of the graph. The AI will also understand the 2 lines of text below the graph, and combine that with the graph. And you can also, in this case, ask further questions. Okay, can you say a little bit more about the sale of computers in 2008 and 9 or something like that, if that's what's on the graph? And you will get more details about that. And that is absolutely amazing. So yeah, I think I'll stop with that, but that is what we kind of imagine. One more thing, looking ahead, we believe that it will be a lot easier to use your devices, because tonight, when Apple have their event, we hope that Siri will be a lot smarter. It needs to be a lot smarter, but we believe we have reasons to believe that Siri will understand more of what we are saying, so you don't have to use the exact phrases to launch something, and so on. Maybe not right away, but we are very hopeful that it will be easier for people, and most blind people, they go blind when they are, if not also, at least kind of late in their life. And maybe it is not as easy to learn new tricks when you are 75 and suddenly, more or less suddenly, has gone blind. So if we can make it easier to simply talk to your phone, and it will actually do what you tell it to do, that will be a real game changer for our community, our blind and low vision people, because so many struggle to use their technology. So many people live alone, and they are embarrassed when they have to ask maybe more than once and again about the same thing. but AI has the patience to explain things to you over and over and over, and that will help my community a lot. So that's what we are really hoping for, and we believe we have reasons to believe it will happen. It always takes a little longer than you think, like with the self-driving cars that we have not really seen yet, even though we thought they were here 10 years ago. We know that, but we are very hopeful about the future for our community. So yeah, and I'm super happy to answer any kind of questions. Thank you.